Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about 100 video ideas for artists. Now this is a very long list obviously, so I have actually broken it up into 10 different sections with 10 ideas each. So hopefully it'll be a little bit more organized and easier for you guys to take notes and to remember. So let's get to it. So the first category is social media, because we all know that social media is a really good way to help promote your artwork. It's free and a lot of people are involved in it. So this is going to be our first category. Number one is how to grow an Instagram following. If you have a lot of followers, or even if you're still on your journey of gaining followers, this could be a great video to make and just kind of show people your process, what has worked for you, what hasn't worked for you. Number two is how to grow your YouTube following. So people are always looking to gain new followers from their YouTube accounts. Maybe talk about how you gained followers and again what has and hasn't worked for you. Three is hacking the algorithm. So if you know how to hack I shouldn't really say hack, but get the algorithm to work with you instead of against you for Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, anything, that will be really helpful and valuable for people as well. And number four, it kind of ties into all of these other things, but offering value to your viewers. So if people are getting value out of what you're offering, whether it is on Instagram, YouTube, whatever platform you're using, how to offer people value and get them to come back, that's going to really help grow your following as well. Number five is offering quick art tips. So little posts that you can make on Instagram, for example, of how to draw hands. Those are really hard to draw. How to draw heads, how to draw eyes, how to draw noses. Those can all be great little quick art tips you can give people. And again, that's giving them something that's valuable, right? That's going to help them grow in their art as well. So that can be a great thing to make a video about. So number six, advertising your work on social media. This can be if you make specific posts geared toward things that you're trying to sell. For example, say you're selling stickers in your Etsy shop. How would you create a post that is engaging and gets people to be excited about your product and your stickers and go from Instagram to your Etsy shop? Making a video about how to bring traffic through your social media to your Etsy shop could be a great video. Number seven is using paid ads. So you could talk about your experience with using paid ads through Instagram, YouTube, etc. And if it worked for you, how well it worked, if it didn't work, if you think it was too expensive, if it's worth it, and if you do think it's worth it, maybe how you could customize it for your particular budget, even if it's just 50 cents a day, how that could work. Number eight is using brand ambassadors. So maybe talking about your experience working with brand ambassadors, maybe sending people your work, maybe your art prints, and then having them show on their social media if they have a really big following, and just your experience with that. And again, if you think it works, if you think it's a good idea, if it's a waste of time and money, you decide. Number nine is being a brand ambassador. So maybe you have a large following of people and you have people asking you to advertise their work on your channel or on your site, and just your experience with that, if it has been a good experience, if it has not been such a good experience. Number 10 is using TikTok to grow your art brand. So TikTok is still fairly new and a lot of people are still kind of wondering about it, what it's all about, how to use it. And so talking about how to use TikTok specifically to grow your social media is also a really great topic you could talk about. Okay, category number two, this is health for artists, and this one is really, really important, and I think that there are so many great ways that you could help people in the art world with their health struggles, whether it be physically, emotionally, mentally. We've all been there. Your experience could really be valuable to people. The number one is dealing with anxiety, and this could be anxiety that you've experienced yourself over different clients, over different projects, over just self-doubt in yourself. I know I've experienced this so much, and I think pretty much every artist has at least one point in their life, if not constantly. So talking about this could be super helpful, and not just talking about it in a negative way, but talking about it in a way that will help people be at peace with their emotions and also learn how to grow from them. Number 2 is dealing with self-doubt. Again, something that pretty much every artist has struggled with, at least I know I have. And talking about this can just really make people feel like they're not alone. Talk about your own struggles with self-doubt as an artist, maybe times where you thought about giving up and what helped you to keep going. Number 3 is recognizing and overcoming your fears. So again, everyone has fears as an artist, whether it be afraid to draw characters, afraid to draw environments, afraid of just picking up a pencil and drawing on a blank sheet of paper, because that can be very intimidating. And so just talking about your experience with that, and again, how you overcame your struggles with art fear and how other people could maybe overcome their struggles with art fear. Number 4 is taking care of your body. This one is really important. I know a lot of artists, including myself, have just kind of put this on the back burner. You know, you're working long hours, you want to get a project done, you're spending hours and hours in front of a screen, not exercising, not eating healthy or at the right times, whatever it is. So talking about this could be super helpful, like what has worked for you, what your goals are, and maybe how other people can put together a plan of how they can incorporate more health into their lives. Number 5 is dealing with burnout, and this is something that every artist faces at some point in their career. If it's just a little burnout, like you need a couple of days off, or sometimes really bad burnout where it can last for a year or more. So just talking about your experience with burnout and maybe some close friends who've experienced burnout with their permission, and just kind of talk about like what has worked for you and what tips you can give to people who are struggling with burnout right now. Number 6 is preventing injury. So yes, even though we are artists and we usually are just sitting down, working on our tablets, we can still experience injuries, which are very common. Wrist injuries. I definitely struggle with carpal tunnel from this constant motion of drawing. It really takes a toll on your joints. So learning about different wrist guards that are really useful could really help someone prevent injury in their art career and can be super, super valuable for someone. Number 7 is dealing with art depression. This is not necessarily to diagnose anyone by any means. It is more of if you have experienced depression, whether it be clinical, whether it be self-induced, and by self-induced I don't mean like it is your fault you have depression. I mean, is it something that you're doing unintentionally that is making you depressed? For example, maybe you are looking through social media constantly and comparing yourself to other people, and that is making you really depressed, but you're not realizing that you're doing that. You're just trying to go through social media for inspiration, but unintentionally you are starting to compare yourself to everyone else, and that is making you depressed. So things like that, maybe talk about your experience with that and how you dealt with it, how you overcame it. Number 8 is finding healthy ways to express yourself. So this could be outlets that are not exactly art related but are still creative and still help you to feel those creative juices in you flowing freely. This could be through music. I know that I really enjoy playing the ukulele. It has been super fun. I don't really try to put, I'm a very competitive person. I tend to put a lot of pressure on myself in everything I do. I try not to though when it comes to ukulele. I just try to do it for fun as a way to relax and just kind of de-stress my brain. So something like music or singing or cooking, baking, running, yoga, anything that helps you to get out of the art world for just a little bit and enjoy yourself doing something else can actually really help. So number 9 is work-life balance. This is also really important, especially for people who work from home and your work is also where you sleep, where you eat, where you play, where you hang out with friends and family. So it can be kind of challenging at times to figure out, okay, when do I step away from my project? Because it can be really tempting to be like, oh, I'll work on it just for a couple more minutes and then end up never taking a break. So learning how to budget your time, maybe make a Google Calendar and break out different sections of things you want to do throughout your day, so you're not only working or you're not only procrastinating, never working. So number 10 is a little similar to number 9. It's knowing when to take a break. And this doesn't just mean budgeting your time, but it means also just taking a break completely from art. Make sure that you are taking days off. This is, again, something that I forget to do. Sometimes I'll be like, why am I so burned out? Oh, it's because I have worked for 20 days straight and have not taken a single day off from freelance work or personal work or whatever it is. So especially if you're starting to feel that burnout, that can be a great sign from your body saying, hey, let's take a break. Let's maybe, again, what we talked about before, go for a walk, do some yoga, just do something else and stop working for a little while. So category number 3 is making money as an artist, and this is something that a lot of artists strive for. Some people do just want to do art for fun as a hobby, and that is amazing. Some people do really want to make money off of it and make it into a career, so having video discussions about that can be super helpful and valuable to people. Number 1 is pet commissions. I really love doing pet commissions. I love drawing animals. They're super cute. It's always so fun seeing pictures of people's pets. That was so adorable. So doing pet commissions for people is a really great way to start making money as an artist. 2 is human portraits, so portraits of people, and this could be, again, related to number 1, maybe portraits of people with their pets, or just portraits of people. Maybe a new baby was born and someone wants a little portrait of their baby, or maybe someone wants a family portrait, or maybe they want a hand illustrated holiday greeting card. So number 3 is children's books. Especially since COVID, actually, I have seen a huge rise in people who are creating their own children's books, which is so cool. A lot of people found that, hey, they finally have time with quarantine to get started on their passion projects, and a lot of people are looking for artists to illustrate their books. So illustrating children's books, or even creating your own children's books and illustrating them, can be a great way to make money as well. Number 4 is selling digital prints and products. So digital products and prints can be a great and easy way to start selling your work. You don't have to worry about shipping or packaging or any of that. The client can get what they ordered right away and download it. It is very easy, and you can also sell these things for very cheap. So number 5 is selling through other companies. For example, Redbubble and Society6 allow you to upload your artwork onto their website, and you can put it on different products. They have so many different products. There's stickers, there's greeting cards, there's postcards, there's t-shirts, there's dresses, socks, backpacks, I think puzzles now on some of them. So many different products you can put your illustration on. So number 6 is Etsy, selling through Etsy, and you could sell digital products through Etsy, but it could also be really fun to sell stickers and postcards like me. So if you enjoy making stickers and prints and postcards, jewelry, really anything, you can sell it on Etsy, and that can be a great way to, again, make income as an artist. Number 7 is working for a company, and you can talk about how to get noticed. If you have worked with a art company before, talk about how you got noticed, your portfolio, your interview process, anything like that can be really helpful for artists who are looking to work in-house. Number 8 is tutoring. So if you have a passion for teaching, tutoring could be a great way to help you make money as an artist. You don't have to be a actual art teacher if you don't want to be. You could just tutor people one-on-one. I know for me, being an introvert, I get super nervous talking in front of big crowds of people, so talking one-on-one with someone is really awesome. Number 9 is creating online classes. So online classes can be a lot of work. I shouldn't say can, they are a lot of work to put together, but they are really helpful for people because they can take the class at their own pace. And usually how it works is you pay for the class and then you have lifetime access to it. So again, people will always have that class to go back, rewatch if they need to, and once you have the class up and loaded, you only have to worry about advertising. You don't have to continuously worry about creating content for that class. so it can be nice passive income. Number 10, what I'm doing right now, start a YouTube channel. This can be a really great way to, one, help people learn more about art skills, about selling your art, making money, doing art, all of these great things, and also learn how to grow your following and make some extra income on the side. So number 4 is growing your business. This is very difficult, especially in the beginning stages for artists. Sometimes you feel like your voice is just completely drowned out by all of the other artists around you, but do not despair, because there is room for every single artist in this world, because there's no one like you in this world, and there is no one who has the exact gifts, talents, perspectives, and personality as you do. You are unique and you have something unique to offer. Number 1 is advertising your business online. This could be through social media, a website. I have heard a lot of mixed feelings from artists about, is it worth it to have a website and pay for the domain and designing the website and all of that when you could just use social media, which is free, and you already have a lot of traffic on social media, whereas a website, you have to bring traffic to the website, or have both. Number 2, similar to what we talked about before, giving people value, but this time through your content. So specifically talking about how to give people valuable content through Instagram, through YouTube, through TikTok. Going into depth can be really helpful for people on specific platforms, because let's be honest, every social media platform is different, and the algorithm is going to be different for each social media area. Number 3 is building a consistent portfolio. This is a common mistake for artists. You love to draw all kinds of different things and you're still trying to figure out your art style, so you kind of put a little bit of everything on your social media, and it makes it hard for people to know what you're interested in, what you're drawing, and more importantly, what they can hire you for, because yes, having a little bit of everything shows you can do a little bit of everything. It's just honestly kind of confusing, because you never know what you're going to expect when this person makes a post. For example, if you're posting pictures of your dog, and then you're posting pictures of figure drawing, and then you're posting pictures of you drinking a smoothie, like all of these things, people aren't really going to know what your brand is as an artist, and essentially that's what you want to do. You want to brand yourself. So talking about how you can make a consistent brand and style for yourself will be super, super valuable for people. Number 4 is knowing your audience. So knowing who your audience is very important. If you are going to be drawing video game characters, video games have a very wide range of players. They can range from little kids all the way up to adults, and so you don't just want to say, oh, I'm a video game artist. You want to be more specific. Say, I am a video game artist for mature audiences, or I am a video game artist for kids games. Something like that will really help you to define your portfolio again and help clients get to your work and know what you're all about. 5 is bringing customers back. So to be honest, I don't get a ton of brand new clients in my freelance work. A lot of my clients are actually repeat customers, which is super awesome, because 1, that means they had a good experience working with me, and 2, because that means I don't have to constantly go out and search for new clients. And you can do the same. Just be a nice person, be easy to work with. Talking about this in detail can be super helpful for people who are just starting in the freelance world. Number 6 is working smarter and not harder. So again, this is something that is super important for people to learn. You do not have to work 24/7 in order to be a good artist. For example, when I was in school, it took me a long time to kind of understand this concept, but once I did, it was really helpful. If I just focus on one thing that I'm doing, no background videos going on YouTube, which I really like to do, and not even background music sometimes, especially music with lyrics can be distracting for me. Just having my work, setting a timer, say something short, 20 minutes, getting my work done within that 20 minutes, only focusing on my work, has been super, super helpful. I've been able to do projects that would literally take me an hour and a half before, because I was, surfing through YouTube to play background videos. I was getting distracted by my cute puggies, wanting to play with them. So again, focus can be super important. Number 7 is creating for others versus creating for yourself. So a lot of artists are really passionate about one piece of art, but maybe it's not really popular on their social media. For example, I created a background illustration that I was super proud of and I really liked, but it was nowhere near as popular as some of my other art pieces that literally took me maybe an hour to do, whereas this piece I spent hours and hours on it. So you really never know what's going to be popular and what's not going to be popular. But if you are looking to get hired, you should consider creating more work that has gotten more likes and has gotten more popularity. But don't let that stop you from creating what you love. Just create it for yourself. You don't have to post everything you create. Number 8 is be patient with yourself. It takes time and a lot of effort. Guys, art is hard. It is a very hard field, and there is no guarantees. There's a lot of rejection, and that can be very, very discouraging. So I just want to encourage you to be patient with yourself. Look at the progress that you have made. It's awesome keeping a sketchbook because you can go back and see how far you've come. You can actually flip through. If you're drawing in your sketchbook every day, flip back to the first page and then flip to the very last page in your sketchbook. You're going to improve if you're going to keep practicing and learning new skills every day. Number 9 is having multiple streams of income. You can talk about how you have not only an Etsy shop that you're selling your art through, but you also have a YouTube channel. You also have art craft shows that you attend. You also have pet commissions that you advertise on your social medias. Number 10 is find people who are already looking for artists instead of trying to beg people to buy your art, because 1, it can be super frustrating, and 2, it can just be kind of awkward. It's like, please buy my stuff, and the people are like, no thank you, and then you are left sad. Personal experience. So if you go on places like Upwork.com or even Craigslist has a lot of people who are looking for illustrators, who are looking for artists, who are looking for people who can paint. Talk to them professionally, nicely, show them your portfolio, and who knows, you may get hired. So category number 5 is learning to draw, and these can be tutorials of all different things. Making drawing tutorials on specific things can be super helpful. Number 1 is learning how to draw specific facial features, for example, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, eyebrows, facial structure. These are all super important because it completely determines the look of your character, or if you're working on a portrait, it is going to make a difference between whether or not that portrait is a likeness of the person that you're drawing. So tutorials like this can be super helpful for people. So number 2, learning how to draw anatomy. If you are really good at anatomy drawing, this is something that a lot of artists, including myself, struggle with. I am definitely not an anatomy expert. So making videos that are simple, easy to understand for beginners, especially how to draw different parts of the body, all the parts of the body in detail, the muscles, the bones, everything is super, super helpful. So number 3 is shapes and structure. This is actually the first YouTube video that I uploaded, and it talks about shapes and how to draw them. This can be a super helpful video for people because everything that we draw is shape-based, and if you know how to draw 3D shapes, a head for example, because our head is 3-dimensional, it's not just a flat circle, so your drawings are going to look more in depth, they're going to look more realistic and believable. Number 4 is color theory. So if you know how to use color really well, if your paintings are super vibrant and beautiful and everyone's like, whoa, how do you get your paintings to be that colorful? You can make a tutorial and show people how you go about your painting process. Maybe you have a really unique painting style that you would like to share with people. People would probably, including myself, love to see it. Number 5 is values. So learning how to use values, learning how to put your images, your art pieces into grayscale, and understanding what makes an illustration pop versus an illustration that kind of all blends together and all looks like it's the same color. Learning how to use value is super important, just as valuable as how to use color. Number 6 is figure drawing. Again, this is a really awesome foundation for artists to have. Knowing how to draw the human figure is really important. Even if you're only interested in drawing animals, we all have structure of some form. So knowing how to draw the figure is going to help you in all aspects of drawing. So if you're really good at drawing figures, make a tutorial about it, how to draw a gesture, how to do structure, how to, again, lay out the anatomy. This can be super, super helpful. Number 7 is drawing animals, which I personally love to do. They're so cute, and animals can be tricky for some people because animals are very different. It's not like the human body where we all have the same skeletal structure and muscles. Animals are all very different, very unique. So learning how to draw animals can be a really awesome video that people will probably really enjoy and find super helpful. You could even make it very specific, like how to draw a lion, how to draw a dog, something that people will find useful and be able to apply to their own work. Number 8 is how to draw environments. So drawing buildings using perspective and vehicles, things like that, that a lot of people want to put into their illustrations because you don't always want to have just a character, you want to put the character in a scene. So learning how to draw environments is also something that a lot of artists would probably find super useful. Number 9 is how to draw props. A video of how to draw props is probably something that's actually not as popular, so making a video about it could be a great way to fulfill that need for understanding how to draw props. Props are actually something that are super needed in video games, so if you're interested in working in the video game world, learning how to draw props could be your ticket in, because not as many people draw props as they do backgrounds and characters. So number 10 is drawing characters, and characters are super, super fun. Even if you're not super into drawing characters, at least understanding the basics of drawing characters can be super helpful to your work. If you're a background painter, just being able to understand characters enough to be able to put little characters in your scenes can be super awesome and help your portfolio be that much better. So if you're really good at character designs, help us out and show us your awesome skills and techniques. Category 6 is fun art videos. So not all videos have to be super education based. They can just be entertaining and still somewhat informative, and people will just enjoy watching them. So number 1 is trying to teach someone to draw something who doesn't typically draw. So for example, say you're going to make a video titled teaching my boyfriend who doesn't draw how to draw a cat, or teaching my little sister to draw a dog. Something like that can be a really cute video and just kind of get people inspired that, hey, I have a unique skill set that I can share with other people as well. Number 2 is trying new art supplies. So especially artists, I feel like we can kind of be hoarders of cool art supplies. I know I definitely am. If you find really cool markers that you really like, colored pencils, your go-to paints, tell us about them. What do you like about them? And maybe you try something new that you haven't tried before and really love it. We would love to hear about it. Number 3 is art challenges. So art challenges can be super fun and a great way to meet other artists and just improve your skills. You could shoot a video of you participating in Inktober, or maybe a 30-day landscape art challenge. Something like that is going to be a fun, entertaining video. Number 4 is similar, making a drawing a day. So this could be anything, whether it's a character a day, a background painting a day, a car a day, an animal a day, anything. Just draw something every day and then show us your progress from day 1 to day 30. Number 5 is putting your art on different things. So for example, putting my art on a cake. Say you don't typically decorate cakes, but you love to illustrate. See if your skills will transfer from paper or your tablet or whatever to a cake. That can be a super fun video to create, or seeing if your art translates well onto clothing. Number 6 is art pranks. So don't be mean, be nice when you're doing these art pranks. Make sure it is harmless fun. But these can be super fun videos. For example, I once saw a video of someone who took their dad's brand new car and they wanted to make him think that they painted it, even though they actually didn't. They just put little colored sticky notes all over it in a rainbow, so it just looked like they had painted it into a giant rainbow. And just kind of seeing his reaction, like that split second of terror, like, oh my goodness, you did this to my beautiful black car, was really, really funny and entertaining. So making a video like that, again, in good, clean fun would be super fun. Number 7 is critiquing your old work. So if you've been drawing for a while and you know you have improved, going back and critiquing your old work can be a really entertaining video for people, because it can show them like, hey, this is how this person started out and this is how much they've improved. So number 8 is critiquing other people's work, again, kindly. Number 1, make sure you get their permission, and number 2, that you are being nice about it. You don't have to just say everything's amazing, but give constructive criticism. Nothing is worse when someone just says, oh, it's bad, but then they don't tell you why. So be honest, but be constructive at the same time. Number 9 is turning an old piece of art into something new. This can be a super entertaining video. For example, my old art teacher actually used to buy old paintings that were just on sale at Marshall's or at a garage sale or something, and these were kind of amateur paintings, but she would actually paint over them and completely transform them, not just painting it over with white gesso, but she would actually add to it and paint over it, and it would look really awesome. Number 10 is play a game, like an artistic game, with friends and videotape it, share it with us. It could be something like art charades. This could be a super intense game with your friends. Maybe you're also playing with other artists, so you can get really competitive. You can make it really fun and entertaining, and maybe inspire other people to also play art games with their friends. So number 7 is inspiration for artists. Inspiration is what motivates us to keep going with our work. If we're not inspired, then we're not really going to be able to improve or have the motivation to keep creating. So number 1 is visiting a museum, specifically an art museum. This can be super inspiring because there are so many amazing artists throughout history. My favorites are Monet and Van Gogh. Just their amazing use of color, their beautiful view of the world portrayed through these almost abstract paintings are absolutely gorgeous. So looking at them for inspiration, maybe looking at their painting techniques or their anatomy techniques or the way that they draw people can all be super inspiring and ways that you can improve your own work. Number 2 is visit a garden. So drawing in a garden can be super fun and relaxing. Maybe bring a sketchbook with some colored pencils, or bring some watercolors, whatever you like to create with your tablet, and just sit down, sketch some flowers. If you don't want to draw in front of other people, that's totally fine. You could take pictures for inspiration to draw later. But either way, going to a garden is always super nice, super peaceful, and a great way to get inspired. Number 3 is one of my favorites, and it's going trend shopping. So going shopping for not necessarily to buy things, you can buy things if you want to, but going trend shopping just means you are looking for trends in stores. And stores, especially like Target, for example, are really good at staying on top of trends. For example, I know several years ago, like dark tropical patterns were really on trend, and if you were looking for them, you really saw them. I saw them everywhere, from Target on clothes to the paper store on greeting cards to the Hallmark store on wrapping paper, to all these different places using this same concept, just in different styles and in different ways. Number 4 is visit small local shops and art galleries. So you don't have to always go along with the trend and visit large mainstream stores. Also go check out the small boutique maybe down the street, or go visit some local art galleries that are small but they still have a lot of beautiful work in them that you can get inspired by. Number 5 is go clothes shopping. So clothes that have a lot of patterns and graphics on them are super great if you are interested in possibly creating work that will be on clothing. You can go to places like Old Navy. Again, Target is very trendy. If you don't know, at this point I love Target. So places like this, Walmart, just any clothing stores that you really like. So number 6 is go on a little trip. Go on a road trip to maybe the next state over or even the next town over, and just explore, take photos. Maybe there's some unique signs that are out there. I have a friend who really loves to take photographs of unique signs in Colorado, which is just a state over from us. So something like that could be super inspiring if you're really into birds. Maybe go bird watching somewhere. Anything to get you inspired. Number 7, travel abroad somewhere. This could be a trip maybe you are already planning on doing, but if you don't feel like drawing on the trip, that's totally fine. Sometimes I just want to enjoy myself and not worry about sketching. But either way, take photos at least. That way, when you get back from your trip, you can have everything documented out and be able to draw and use it as inspiration. There are so many beautiful art pieces throughout culture, and getting to experience those different cultures, the colors that they use, the foods that they eat can all be super inspiring. Number 8 is watch some of your favorite cartoons and animated movies. So there is a reason that you enjoy these cartoons, and it probably has a lot to do with 1, the story, and 2, the art style. I really love Steven Universe, 1, because the characters are all adorable and I love them all, and 2, because the art style is beautiful. The characters are so well created. They're so simple, yet they're so well done, and the environments, the painting is just gorgeous. So studying your favorite cartoons, watch them, yes, but also take notes. Like, why do I like this cartoon? What is appealing about the characters? Maybe the different shapes that they use to create the characters. Number 9 is interview an artist. So this can be... My doggies are barking because there's another dog outside barking. So interviewing an artist that you really admire can be super awesome because every artist has their own perspective, and please ignore my doggies barking in the background. Every artist has their own perspective and always has something that you could learn from. Number 10, and this is also one of my favorites, go to a zoo or aquarium, or both, because it is super fun to draw animals and aquatic life. These can be a super great way to just sketch, learn more about how the animals move. That is something that is super, super important. And just observing how animals move. Maybe take some videos as well as pictures. That can be super great for reference. So number 8 is reviewing products. A lot of people are interested in buying products, but they want to research them first before they invest the money in them. So if you happen to already have these products or you're planning on buying them anyway, reviewing them can be a super helpful video for people. So number 1 is reviewing drawing tablets. There are so many different drawing tablets out there that it can be kind of overwhelming for people who have never bought one before. So reviewing maybe your favorite tablet or the tablet that you have and the pros and cons of it can be super helpful. Number 2 is a cry cut or silhouette review. Personally, I have a cry cut machine, so I'm probably going to make a video of myself reviewing it soon. But for people who are interested in purchasing these machines, it can be really helpful. So number 3 is a paper review, and there are so many different kinds of paper out there, guys. You could be reviewing your favorite watercolor paper, your favorite sticker paper, your favorite drawing sketchbook paper. Anything would be super helpful. Number 4 would be an iPad drawing review. I had never really drawn an iPad before a couple years ago. I had only drawn on a Wacom or a tablet, just a really little tiny one that I bought for super cheap, but it worked. I hadn't used an iPad until then, but when I started using the iPad, I really fell in love with it. However, it took me a little bit to get used to. So maybe create a video of your opinion of the iPad, how you like drawing on it, maybe why you don't like drawing on it, and just list the pros and cons. Let us know. Number 5 is paints. So your favorite paints, whether it be oil paints, acrylic paints, watercolor paints. Again, so many different paints out there, it can be kind of overwhelming. Give us your personal opinion on which one you like to use. Number 6 is pencils, your favorite colored pencils, your favorite charcoal pencils. These can all be super helpful to know because not all pencils are created the same, and sometimes pencils are really expensive, but they're not worth it. So just give us an honest review of your opinion. Number 7 is markers. There are also a lot of markers out there. I've heard great things about Copic markers, but I haven't invested in any yet. I'm still thinking about it, seeing if it's worth the investment. So if you have Copic markers and you really like them, give us a review. Number 8, review Mac versus Windows for art. This could be an interesting video. So I had never used a Mac before I went to college, and I got one as a scholarship in school, and I hated it at first because it was so different from Windows. I had never used a Mac before, but I ended up really loving it, and now I feel like I would not ever want to go back to Windows. So if you have a similar story, or maybe you really don't like Macs and you feel like Windows works better for you, let us know. Number 9 is review digital versus traditional art. I know that in school my art teachers would always push traditional, but all the students always wanted to do digital. I feel like there's a really good way to combine them both, so maybe you prefer one or the other, or you have found a really great way to combine both traditional work with digital work. So let us know in a video. Number 10, this is still something that's pretty new in the market but would be really cool to learn more about, is a 3D printer. Maybe you have one, or you know someone who has one. Do a review on it. Tell us if you think it's worth it, maybe the different things you can create with it or have created with it. Let us know. So number 9 is in-depth tutorials. These are tutorials that are very focused, very niche. Number 1 is how to paint flowers. Now, for me, flowers are something that is kind of tricky to draw. I know people who are really good at painting them. I'm just not one of those people, but I want to learn. So if you are one of those people, make a video and show us how to paint flowers. Number 2 is how to draw heads step by step. This is also something that is kind of challenging and is also very specific. So if you're very good at drawing heads, give us a video. Number 3 is how to use watercolor. Again, this is not a medium I'm very good at, but I know a lot of people who are really awesome at it. So if you would like to show us people who do not have the same watercolor skills that you do, that would be awesome. Give us a video. Number 4 is how to use gouache. Gouache it's a very interesting medium. I don't feel like there's any other paint that's really similar to it. So if you're really good at using gouache, whether you paint characters with it, flowers, environments, whatever it is, give us a video and show us how to use that medium. Number 5 is how to draw hands step by step. So hands are very hard to draw. I feel like almost every artist struggles with drawing them. So if you are really good at drawing hands, or maybe you struggled with drawing hands but now you've gotten better, show us your tips and tricks. Number 6 is how to paint with oils. Oils are a tricky paint to work with, but they look so beautiful in my opinion. I really loved the way that the oil paint looked when I was in school, but unfortunately I haven't painted with oil paint since being in school because it is a lot of work and it takes a long time, and they are kind of difficult to clean, especially if you don't have an art studio to work in. So if you are really good at using oil paints, let us know. Number 7 is how to use Photoshop. Photoshop is a really big program and can be very daunting for people. When I first opened it up, I was like, oh my goodness, where do I even start? There is way too much going on, way too many buttons. How am I ever going to learn this program? But you really only need to know about 10% at the most of Photoshop in order to be able to paint in it and draw in it. So if you are an expert in Photoshop, or even are not an expert and you just know how to draw and paint in Photoshop, give us a tutorial. Number 8 is how to use Illustrator. So Illustrator is also kind of a tricky program to get used to if you have never used it before, but it can be really awesome if you are into graphic design, and if you're into making patterns, it can also be super awesome. So if you're really good at using Illustrator, give us some tips and tricks on how to use it. Number 9 is how to use Procreate for the iPad. So when I first started drawing on the iPad, I bought Procreate. It is super affordable. I think it's only $10 on the App Store. You only pay that price once and then it's yours forever. And it's much easier to get used to than, say, Photoshop, but there's still that learning curve. So if you are good at using Procreate and you would like to give us a tutorial on how you draw and paint Procreate, let us know. Number 10 is how to customize your Wacom. So Wacoms have buttons that you can customize on the side of them, and this can be super awesome if you are looking for ways to do really quick shortcuts with your left hand while you're drawing with your right, or if you're a lefty, shortcuts with your right, drawing with your left, whichever it is. And this can, in the long run, help save you time if you're just looking to have easy shortcuts that you can do. So if you are really good at customizing shortcuts, again, let us know. So my last category, number 10, is your art journey. And this is a really great video to make because a lot of artists get discouraged along their art journey and they feel like they have hit a wall or they got rejected from their dream company. Let them know your story. Let them know that you're not alone, that they're not alone. So number 1 is how I got started in art. This could be a video of how maybe you've always loved to draw as a kid and decided to make a career out of it. Maybe you didn't always enjoy drawing, but you came to it later into your life and you really loved it. So let us know your story. Everyone's story is different, but I think everyone's story is inspiring and has a right to be heard. Number 2 is your favorite art books. So if you have some art books that you really love that are maybe books for inspirational purposes or educational purposes, let us know why they helped you and why you like them and where we can get them. Number 3 is your favorite artist. So these can be artists that inspire you, artists that are your friends and you want to help promote their work. Just let us know who they are and why we should follow them too. Number 4 is your favorite and least favorite art jobs. Now, be careful and please don't blackmail people or throw people under the bus specifically. Keep things nice and anonymous, but be honest and tell us your stories, maybe some bad jobs that you've had in the past, bad clients. Just kind of tell us your experience and maybe why things didn't go well. Number 5 is having your dreams come true as an artist. Again, artists go through ups and downs, but maybe you finally had a really awesome breakthrough that kind of helped you start your art career. Tell us about it. Number 6, the opposite, art dreams being shattered. But that doesn't always have to be a bad thing. So talk about times that you were rejected in the art field so people know that they're not alone when they get rejected. But talk about it in a positive sense and the way that you understand, but things still worked out in the end. Maybe you didn't get the art job that you were really hoping for, but you got another job instead. Or maybe you found another thing that you enjoyed more, like maybe running your own shop instead of working for a company. Number 7, experience working with different companies. Again, please be careful not to blackmail or say mean things about certain companies, but if you have something that you really want to share it. You have the right to. Just let us know like what companies maybe you worked for, what your experiences were with them, and if you would recommend them or if you wouldn't recommend them. Number 8 is how you improved your art. So maybe this is going to art school. For me, I had never really had traditional art classes. Like I took some art classes with people on and off, like learning how to use acrylic paints and draw little things, but I never had really structured art classes until I actually went to college. And so maybe talking about your art journey going through college, or maybe you didn't go to college and you're self-taught, talk about that journey. Number 9 is, do you recommend art school? So again, relating to number 8, did you or did you not go to art school, and would you recommend it? Because art schools most of the time are really expensive and are a lot of work, require 4 years of your life invested into them. So it's a big decision, figure out if it's worth it or not. Maybe talk about your experience and what you think. Number 10 is how you started making money. So every artist starts somewhere, and every artist has a story of how they first started making money. and how they continue to make money as an artist. So make a video. Maybe the first time you made money as an artist was drawing a little picture of someone's dog for them. Maybe the first time was when you got hired at a company. So tell us about your experience. We would love to know. Alrighty, we did it. 100 art video ideas for you guys. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe. I will be making many more videos. If you are watching this in February of 2022, this is only my second video, but I am planning on making many more videos. Let me know what videos you guys would like me to cover, whether it be art tutorials or art business. Whatever it is, I'm happy to hear you out. So just let me know. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time.